So let's talk about Oppenheimer in 4K, a cinematic marvel that's as explosive as the atomic bomb itself. So imagine diving deep into the mind of the man behind the Manhattan Project while being visually dazzled by every frame. It's not just history, it's a visual spectacle right here. So, the 4K transfer is a must-see in all of its glorious detail. The crispiness and clarity bring every moment to life, making you feel like you're right there in the tense, smoke-filled rooms and at the heart of the desert tests. Christopher Nolan's direction is as precise as ever, weaving together complex narratives and character studies with ease. Cillian Murphy's portrayal of Oppenheimer is captivating, showing the internal conflict and immense pressure of creating something world-altering. The supporting cast, including Emily Blunt and Robert Downey Jr., add depth and dimension to the already rich story. Highly recommended for the 4K transfer, the directing, the story, the acting, everything about this film is top-notch. Whether you're a history buff or just love a good drama, Oppenheimer is a must-watch. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy.
Buckle up for Air Force One in 4K, where the only thing higher than the altitude is the tension. So imagine this, Harrison Ford is the US president, fighting terrorists on a plane. It's like Die Hard at 30,000 feet, but with the leader of the free world. The 4K makeover of this classic is nothing short of presidential. Every frame feels like a freshly polished Air Force insignia. The crispness of the visuals elevates the experience, turning every action sequence into a breathtaking high-definition ballet of suspense. The plot isn't just turbulence and takedowns, it's a masterclass in airborne drama. Ford's portrayal of a president with both brains and brawn is as convincing as it gets, while Gary Oldman's villain is kind of the bad guy that you love to hate. The story takes off with political intrigue, then skydives into a whirlwind of personal valor and heroics. Wrapping it up, Air Force One in 4K is like a first-class upgrade on a flight you've taken many times. It's familiar, yet thrillingly new, proving that some movies, like fine wine, only get better with age. My rating, a high-flying 7 out of 10 for making me want to fasten my seatbelt on the couch. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy. So let's dive into Philadelphia in 4K, a movie that will tug at your heartstrings and make you appreciate the legal system, or not. So, what's the scoop here with this movie? You have a top-notch lawyer gets wrongfully fired due to his AIDS diagnosis and teams up with a reluctant homophobic attorney to fight for justice. It's courtroom drama meets social activism, and it's gripping. Now, the 4K transfer is fantastic, enhancing every emotional scene with crystal clear detail. The vibrant cityscape and intense courtroom exchanges look better than ever, making the visual experience as powerful as the story itself. The film boasts stellar performances from Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington, who bring depth and humanity to their roles. Hanks, in particular, delivers a heart-wrenching portrayal of a man fighting for his dignity and rights, while Washington's character arc, from prejudice to ally, is both believable and moving. In conclusion, Philadelphia is a powerhouse of a movie that still resonates today. With its stunning 4K upgrade and compelling narrative, it's a must-watch. I give it an 8 out of 10. Bring tissues, you'll need them. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy. So let's take a quick look at the Hunger Games complete 4-film collection. This is going to be the box set, so you do get the 4K disc, the Blu-ray disc, and the digital, which is a nice touch. Keep in mind here that it's going to be the bottom and the top, how it slides off. A lot of the times it will come out one of the sides, but it's going to be different with this. We have the sides that can say the Hunger Games, and pretty much very similar. Taking a quick look at the back so you can get an idea of the bonus features. There's over 10 hours of them, so you get deleted scenes, in-depth making of documentaries of every movie in the series, audio commentaries, music videos, and much more. So if you want to take them out, you can just push from the top or the bottom, of course. Let's move this to the side. And of course, with the some of the movies here, make sure they are in order. So that's 3, that's 2. Here's 1, and you can take a quick look at these as well. So Hunger Games, the first movie in the series, just having a quick look at it. What I like about this is that there's a lot of synergy with the discs, so they're going to look identical. Pretty much the only difference here is where it shows the 4K and the Blu-ray. So that's going to be the first movie. Next is going to be the Hunger Games Catching Fire, the second movie in the series. And cracking this open as well. As you're going to see, great synergy, 4K and Blu-ray, same art on the discs. Part 1, which is the third movie in the actual series. There's going to be the back, cracking it open there. Once again, same art, just different with the 4K and the Blu-ray. And of course, the Mockingjay Part 2, which is the epic finale. Here's the back in case you wanted to see that. And of course, you can always pause it at specific scenes should you want to see more about what it looks like. So I will also show you the spines. The one little nitpick I have of this, so maybe you're like me and sometimes you don't like keeping them in the box and you just want to take them out, is of course the fourth or the final part was the Mockingjay Part 2. I wish they were all that darker color, but this one had to stick out like a sore thumb where it's the lighter color. Nevertheless, that is a very quick look at the Hunger Games complete 4-film collection. If you're a big fan of the Hunger Games, of course, this is a great set to have, especially for the fact that it's on beautiful 4K. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy. Alright, so let's take a quick look at the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. This is going to be the 4K version, so you do get the 4K disc, the Blu-ray disc, and the digital in case you want that easier access and you don't have to pop in the disc. So turning it around on the side, we have a very similar spine to the previous versions, which I like, so it's going to be yellow. I know there's a little glare there, but allow me to show you, in case you're a collector like me, this is going to be the first 3 right here, and they look great. Notice how there's the synergy, same colors, same fonts, same everything. I love that, so if you're a collector like myself, I think you're really going to enjoy that. Here's going to be some of the bonus features here, the audio commentary, the Mockingjay Lives, the making of it, Straight from the Heart, Songs of Rebellion, and a few other things like deleted scenes. Cracking this open, of course, we're going to have the 4K version and the Blu-ray. Once again, they did a great job with putting the characters on the discs. It's a nice touch. I think it looks a lot better than just having the plain black or blue disc. In case you missed my previous reviews, I have not gotten to see this one. I bought all 4 of them. I'm super excited about watching. I've seen the first one. I really enjoy it. And I actually bought them for 2 reasons. 1, because of 4K, and 2, because I'm a very big fan of Jennifer Lawrence. So while I can't give you my review, that's kind of giving you an overview or an unboxing. Did I say an overview? Yeah. Or an unboxing of the actual movie. And I love the synergy between the first 3 when it comes to how it looks as a collector. So those are some of the details and aspects of the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. I'm looking forward to watching this. I have a lot of movies to watch, so it's on my list. And when you get it, I hope you enjoy watching it as much as I will as well. Thank you so much for watching. So let's take a quick look at the Hunger Games. And this is going to be the 4K version, so you do get the 4K disc, the Blu-ray disc, and digital. A nice touch as always. Every time I talk about movies, I think it's a nice little bonus when you can get digital. Even if you're a fan like me of like popping in the disc, sometimes you just want to quickly access it on your TV, and that's exactly what you're getting. So quick look at the front, and if we go to the spine here, we just have the Hunger Games in yellow. And of course, I'm going to zoom in so you can see some of the special features. Now, something that's actually different, while we do have the 4K and the Blu-ray disc, the 4K is going to have the movie and special features, which normally it's going to be on the Blu-ray for the special features, but no complaining from here. So you got the audio commentary, from the editor, the visual effects supervisor, and much more. So you have the Game Maker, the Suzanne Collins and the Hunger Games Phenomenon, and The World is Watching, Making the Hunger Games, and Letters from the Rose Garden. So let's pop this open so we can see what the discs look like. They have the characters on them, which I really like. So there's much more to it than just like a blank disc or just like blue or black. So I like that as well. Overall, this is the only one I have seen in the series, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I just picked up the other ones, so I'm excited about watching them. But solid movie. I am a very big fan of Jennifer Lawrence. I will say that's probably the biggest reason why I wanted to check this out. And of course, the 4K version to get kind of the upgrade and see how it looks. Nevertheless, I think this is a good pickup, especially if you're like me and you love 4K films, or maybe you want to get the collection of all of them in the series. Nevertheless, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. So let's take a quick look at the Hunger Games Catching Fire. This is going to be the 4K version. So yes, you do get the 4K disc, the Blu-ray disc, and digital. A nice touch in case you want easier access to watch it, so you don't have to pop in the disc. So here's going to be the cover with Jennifer Lawrence on it, taking a look at the side with the similar yellow font here, and of course the Ultra HD Blu-ray logo. So something that's going to be a little bit different in case you're familiar with the first one, where the disc for 4K and the disc for Blu-ray are both going to have movie and bonus features. Some of those bonus features include the audio commentary with the director, and the producer, Nina. I'm not going to pronounce any last names. I always get them wrong, so in case you want to read those, of course. So surviving the game, making the Hunger Games, and of course some deleted scenes. And popping this open, here we have it, going to be the 2 discs. I think it looks great. I love when they have characters on them and there's more detail to them. I just think it's a nicer touch. And overall, as I talked about previously, I purchased all 4 of these, and I just watched the first one. I was super excited about watching all of them in 4K, so I can't give you my review on the movie, but I think it's great that it's finally in 4K. I love watching 4K films. I've had this on DVD, and of course I upgraded, so now I get to watch this at the highest quality, and I think it's something you're probably going to enjoy just for the 4K experience itself, just from watching the first one, which I enthusiastically enjoyed. Nevertheless, that's what comes with this. That's what it looks like, and maybe you'll pick it up, maybe you won't, but nevertheless, if you do, I really hope you enjoy it as much as I'm going to when I watch it myself. Thank you so much for watching. Alright, so let's take a quick look at the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. This is going to be the 4K version, so you get the 4K disc, the Blu-ray disc, and the digital, which is going to be a nice touch. In case you don't want to pop in your disc, you can just play it very easily. This is going to be the cover right here, and if you'll notice on the side, the spine's going to be similar. Now, looking at it like this, I think it looks great, but if you're a collector like me and you like to buy all the movies in a series, you're going to notice that there's going to be something a little bit different. So which movie stands out the most? And obviously it's going to be the last one. I would have loved if they had the similar spine with the black and more of the yellow instead of the white and the yellow, but nevertheless, that is what you're getting. Let's take a very quick look at the back. There's a ton of special features. Pawns No More, The Hunger Games, A Photographic Journey, Jet to the Set, audio commentary. You got a lot to like in terms of bonus features if that's what you're looking for. Aside from that, we have our two discs, which are pretty much identical. Blu-ray on the left, 4K on the right. If you missed my previous unboxings of these, I talked about how I purchased all of them, as you saw. I haven't gotten to see the grand finale yet, just the first one, so I'm really looking forward to watching them. I thought the first one was great. I'm more of a Jennifer Lawrence fan and a 4K fan, obviously, so those are some of the big reasons why I picked them up. So I can't really review the movie, but that's more of an unboxing and what comes along with it. And if you're like me and you did want to get all of them, this is what it's going to look like when all four of them are sitting on your shelf. Nevertheless, those are my thoughts in the unboxing when it comes to the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. Looking forward to watching this, and if you happen to pick it up, do let me know if you enjoy it, because I'm looking forward to watching it myself. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy. So let's quickly take a look at the Harry Potter 8 film collection. As you can see here, it looks like it might be a little small, but little, could be a box set, could be something that just has a flimsy case with it. But if you take a look to the right, this thing is a brick. And I say that in a good reason, of course. I love the fact that you do get the 4K version and you get the Blu-ray disc, depending on what you want to play. Obviously, with 4K, you're going to get that phenomenal transfer. It's going to look fantastic, especially if you're a Harry Potter fan. It's always good to see a movie that you love in the highest quality form. So taking a look on the back kind of talks about what you get here with all the films. Keep in mind there are going to be 8 films, and because it's on 4K and Blu-ray, you're getting a total of 16 discs. And that's awesome. I personally love any type of box set where you get a lot of value with it. Oops, kind of bumped the camera. Allow me to take it out just to kind of quickly show you what it looks like. And just so you know, this is going to look the same, except this is just going to be Blu-ray, of course. So we have Blu-ray, we have 4K. I'll show you on the inside here. So have a look right here. It's always going to say the movie underneath it, and then of course it's going to have the actual title there. So as I scroll through, you can see we're going to have all the movies here going on through. There's a lot of them to go through, of course, with the whole collection, and then closing it up like that. In my opinion, it also looks great, too, when you put it away, so I kind of like the way it looks, given it's a box set and all, with the slipcover and all, so we can set it like this. And just like that, we have our Harry Potter 8-film collection in 4K and Blu-ray. Like I said, if you're a Harry Potter fan, just the smallest fan, you really want to see a great movie in 4K, definitely something you should probably pick up. Thank you so much for watching. The movie that started it all, we have Sylvester Stallone in First Blood. I actually watched this the other day, and the 4K looks pretty beautiful, especially for a movie that was created so long ago. I think you'll really enjoy it. Aside from the 4K disc, you are getting the Blu-ray disc and the digital. A nice little bonus, as I always talk about. It's cool that a lot of movies will have that with it. Just some First Blood, some red letters on the side with the Ultra HD logo, and of course, he never fought a battle he couldn't win. Let's take a look at some of these special features. So on the Blu-ray one, so we have Takes the 80s Part 1, Making of It, alternate endings, outtakes, deleted scenes, and on the 4K, you're mostly just going to get some commentaries. I would recommend watching the 4K. Like I said, I think it looks great, and I love how the discs actually have Rambo on it. So we got the Blu-ray on the left and the 4K on the right. Pretty standard stuff here. If you've seen First Blood before, you know exactly what you're getting into. If you haven't seen it before, it's a classic Sylvester Stallone movie, and I especially highly recommend it in the 4K version. It does look great. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy your film. So let's tackle Rambo First Blood Part 2 in 4K. In this high-octane sequel, Rambo flexes his combat skills in Vietnam, proving that one man can indeed start a one-man war. So when it comes to 4K, this film is a visual feast. The lush jungles of Vietnam are more vibrant than ever, and the night scenes are particularly impressive, with deep blacks and sharp contrast making the action pop off the screen. So the story and characters are where First Blood Part 2 truly shines. Rambo, a broken soldier, is called back for a mission that's more personal than he expects. The emotional depth Stallone brings to this iconic character adds a layer of complexity to this non-stop action. The narrative, while straightforward, is packed with tension and punctuated by moments of unexpected tenderness, which is a pleasant surprise in a movie known for its relentless pace. In conclusion, Rambo First Blood Part 2 in 4K is a solid 7 out of 10. It's a visual upgrade that breathes new life into this 80s action classic. The movie balances its raw, adrenaline pumping sequences with a story that, surprisingly, has more heart than you might remember. For fans of the genre, it's a must watch in 4K, and for newcomers, it's an explosive introduction to one of cinema's most iconic action heroes. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy. So Rambo 3 in 4K isn't just a movie, it's a high-octane thrill ride where John Rambo goes full superhero mode in Afghanistan. So transitioning to the 4K experience, it's like seeing John Rambo sweat in high definition, and there's a lot of it to say the least. The desert landscape and chaotic action sequences are so vivid you can practically feel the heat and taste the dust. Every muscle twitch and explosion is so sharp, it's almost a character in itself. This isn't just an upgrade, it's like being in the middle of the action. The story, oh, the story, of course, it's classic Rambo with a side of geopolitical drama. Our hero dives headfirst into the Soviet-Afghan war, rescuing his mentor while navigating a complex political landscape. It's more than just guns and muscles. There's hints of heart under all that brawn. And let's not forget the ever-escalating action scenes that are so ridiculously entertaining, you'll forgive any plot holes, and of course there are a few. In conclusion, Rambo 3 in 4K is a blast. It's like reliving the 80s with modern glasses. While it might not be winning any awards for complex storytelling, it's a solid 7 out of 10 for sheer entertainment value and a visual feast that makes Rambo's third outing more memorable than ever. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy. So let's take a quick look at Zombie. This is the 4K Ultra Edition, which also comes along with the Blu-ray disc. Here's going to be the spine, in case you wanted to see that. And moving on over to the back, what I'm going to do is zoom in mostly on the bottom aspect right here so you can see a lot of the extras. With disc 1, you get 2 audio commentaries, When the Earth Spit Out the Dead, a few other things. And of course, disc 2 with the Blu-ray is going to have many more bonus features. I'll keep that there so in case you want to pause it, you can come back and look at all the special features. Cracking it open very quickly, we have the Blu-ray disc on the left and the 4K on the right. I personally love it when they put a little bit more art or detail into that, like characters or actual scenes from the movie. I think it looks so much better, so those look great. Nevertheless, if you love zombie movies, if you love horror movies, if you love gore, if you're a gore hound, you're definitely going to love this one. That's pretty much all I'm going to say. You know what you're getting yourself into. If you've seen it before, you're going to be good to go. You're going to love this one. I love the fact that there's so many older movies in 4K now. It just makes the experience much more enjoyable to watch, especially in high quality 4K. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy.
Alright, let's dive into Maniac in 4K, the slasher flick that makes you question the sanity of everyone you meet. So what's the gist here anyway? Well, you've got a deranged, scalpel-wielding maniac roaming the streets, and trust me, he's not handing out friendship bracelets in this one. So, like most Blue Underground films, this 4K is fantastic. The visuals are sharp enough to make you wince, and the eerie, gritty atmosphere really pops, making every twisted moment uncomfortably vivid. As for the story, it's a psychological plunge into madness. Frank Zito, our maniac, isn't just any villain, he's a deeply disturbed individual with a chilling backstory that makes his gruesome actions almost tragic. The characters he encounters, let's just say they're in for a nightmarish surprise. So, highly recommended for slasher fans here. Maniac delivers on the gore and psychological horror fronts, making it a must-watch if you're into the darker side of cinema. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy.
So let's take a quick look at I Know What You Did Last Summer in 4K, which comes with the Blu-ray disc and the digital. In my opinion, this is a must-have, a phenomenal 4K transfer. Let's take a look at the back. What I like also is that some of the bonuses are actually on the 4K disc. Usually it's just a Blu-ray, but not here. You get deleted scenes, you get an interview with the director, and of course the interview with Muse Watson, who plays the fisherman. You also get some more on the Blu-ray disc as well. Cracking it open very quickly, the discs look great here. I mean, just everything about this. You have the characters and, of course, once again, the fisherman. So the 4K transfer on this is beautiful. For a movie that has a lot of dark scenes, even some of the dark scenes really pop, but then once they get going towards, I think it's North Carolina where it was filmed, like kind of like a lot of the water and the greens and the blues, and just everything looks fantastic on this. I was a big fan of this movie, but seeing it in 4K is just so beautiful. It makes it even so much better. This is a must have. If you've seen it before, if you have any interest in it, definitely pick it up. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy. The Highway to the Danger Zone. Let's take a quick look at Top Gun, the one that started it all. This is going to be the 4K version, so you will be getting the 4K disc, the Blu-ray disc, and the digital. Big thumbs up there, always great for easier access. There's the front cover, and as we tilt this, we see the spine, the great Top Gun logo with Tom Cruise on the side. I am going to zoom in a little so you can see some of the special features. So on the 4K disc, you get the Legacy of Top Gun, on your 6 and some commentary, and we have many more features that are going to be on the Blu-ray disc as well. So if you want to see some behind the scenes type of stuff, that's going to be your go-to. So left is going to be the Blu-ray disc, and of course the right is going to be the 4K. So I mean, what do I have to say about Top Gun? It's a classic. It's what started it all. You know, it was such a popular movie. There's so many great theme songs and there's a lot of great scenes. Overall, it's such a nostalgic movie for me, and the ability to finally see it in 4K is something I truly enjoy, especially now that there's also Top Gun Maverick. I think this is definitely a must-have if you are a Top Gun fan, a Tom Cruise fan, or you just want another great 4K movie in your collection. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy your film.
So let's talk about Platoon in 4K, the movie that makes you feel like you've been dropped straight into the chaos of Vietnam. Oliver Stone takes you on a gritty, raw, and unfiltered tour of a soldier's worst nightmare. And believe me, there's no candy coating here. Now, about that 4K transfer. It's been a very hot topic. Now, some parts look stunning, while others feel like they've time traveled back to the Blu-ray era. But honestly, none of that mattered to me because this movie absolutely rocks and still manages to pull you into its world. The story is as gripping as it is devastating. With an all-star cast including Charlie Sheen and William Dafoe, the film points a hauntingly realistic picture of war, loyalty, and survival. It's not an easy watch, but it's one of those films that stays with you long after the credits roll. So what did I think? Platoon delivers an unflinching look at the horrors of war and the complexities of humanity. Sure, the transfer is not perfect, but I'd buy it again in a heartbeat. This one's a must-watch, whether you're a collector or just someone who appreciates cinema that pulls no punches. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy. So let's talk about Highlander in 4K, the movie that answers the age-old question, what if immortals had a knack for swordplay and 80s rock? Spoiler alert, it's as wild as it sounds, with an electric vibe that only Queen's soundtrack could amplify. The 4K transfer here, pretty solid. The visuals are sharp, and while it doesn't reinvent the wheel, it does justice to the sweeping battles and moody, neon-lit cityscapes. Definitely a step up from earlier versions. As for the story, it's a mix of historical drama, fantasy, and modern-day action, following Connor as he learns the ropes of immortality while dodging decapitation. The villain, Kurgan, steals every scene he's in, bringing an over-the-top menace that's just fun to watch. This was another blind buy that I enjoyed, despite being quite weird overall. If you're into epic sword fights, quirky lore, and an unforgettable soundtrack, this one's worth a spin. There can only be one chance to watch it in 4K. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy. Diving back into the eerie silence of space with Aliens in 4K. We're not just hunting xenomorphs here, we're redefining claustrophobia. So Aliens isn't just a sequel, it's an adrenaline-fueled, heart-stopping, check-your-corners thrill ride that refuses to let go. And just so you know, there are going to be 3 discs. There's one here, and of course, if you go behind this one, if I can get it really quickly, just to show you, there's going to be Aliens Disc 3 with the bonus features. So let's talk about what we've all been looking for in terms of the 4K transfer and just about the movie in general. So the 4K upgrade of Aliens is like getting a front row seat to the chaos, minus the actual danger of being skewered by an alien tail. While it's true that the 4K transfer doesn't dazzle as much as its predecessor Alien, it's by no means a big disappointment, at least for me. It's not perfect, but then again, neither is waking up centuries later to find out that aliens are in fact real. So here James Cameron took the helm with a simple idea. More is more. More aliens, more firepower, and more unforgettable lines. Ripley transforms from survivor to warrior, standing as the heart of a story that's much about motherhood as it is about blasting aliens into space dust. The characters surrounding her, from Hudson to Hicks, add layers to an already compelling narrative. The camaraderie, the tension, and the sheer desperation are all beautifully captured, making Aliens a masterclass in how to do sequels right. Wrapping it up though, Aliens in 4K is still a must-have for any cinephile or sci-fi enthusiast. Though it may not outshine its predecessor in the 4K department, it's still a strong 8 out of 10 and a worthy addition to your collection. It's great to finally see this on 4K, where every pulse rifle blast and alien screech feels just a bit too close for comfort. Whether you're revisiting or experiencing it for the first time, Aliens remains an unforgettable journey into the heart of sci-fi terror. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy.
So let's talk about Poltergeist 2 in 4K, the sequel that dares to drag the Freeling family back into the supernatural chaos one more time. Things seem peaceful at first. New house, fresh start, but it doesn't take long before creepy old Kane starts showing up, looking like death in a preacher's outfit. And from there, it's back to the swirling vortex of spiritual insanity that only the 80s could deliver. Now, Scream Factory rocked this 4K transfer out of the park. The image is crisp, the color depth is fantastic, and the shadow detail really pops in those eerie moments. The overall clarity makes every ghostly manifestation look even more unsettling than before. It's one of those releases that remind you why 4K horror is such a treat. Story-wise, this one takes the original suburban terror and turns it into something more spiritual and mythic. The family dynamic still shines, and Jo Beth Williams carries the emotional weight like a champ. Then there's Julian Beck's Kane. Just pure nightmare fuel, haunting every frame he's in. It's a sequel that doesn't reinvent the wheel, but it keeps it rolling in all the right creepy directions. A solid follow-up to the original that doesn't get nearly enough credit. It might not hit the same iconic highs, but it's a strong continuation that deserves its spot on the shelf, especially in 4K. Fans of 80s horror and paranormal flicks should absolutely give this one another look. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy. So let's dive into Roadhouse in 4K, the movie that redefined bar brawls and made us all wish we had Patrick Swayze as our personal cooler. So what's going on here? Well, a Zen bouncer with a PhD in philosophy takes on a corrupt businessman in a small town, and chaos ensues with roundhouse kicks aplenty. Now the 4K transfer here is fantastic, bringing out every punch, kick, and explosion with crystal clear precision. It's like you're right there in the double deuce, ducking flying bottles, and admiring Swayze's mullet in all of its high-definition glory. The story? Oh, it's a wild ride, definitely. Dalton, the coolest bouncer ever, is hired to clean up a notoriously rowdy bar. Along the way, he faces off against a ruthless tycoon, finds love, and teaches us all the value of being nice until it's time to not be nice. The characters are larger than life, with Sam Elliott adding an extra layer of grizzled charm. So what did I think anyway? Roadhouse in 4K is very highly recommended for oh so many reasons. It's a cult classic that delivers action, romance, and enough cheesy one-liners to keep you entertained from start to finish. Definitely worth a watch in this stellar quality. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy.
Alright, let's dive into Shocker in 4K. If you've ever wondered what it's like to see a criminal psychopath get the electric chair and come back to wreak havoc, well, this is your movie. It's horror with a zany twist, like Freddy Krueger took a detour through the power grid. Now, the 4K here, it's stunning. Seriously. I'd go as far as to say it shocked me with how crisp and vivid it is, or maybe electrified me is more like it. Anyways, every bolt, every spark is razor sharp, making for an eye-catching upgrade. Definitely worth it in the 4K department. As for the story, it's as wild as they come. You have Horace Pinker, our villain, doesn't just cheat death, he takes it personally, jumping into screens and zapping into all kinds of trouble. There's a madcap charm to this film, a blend of horror, humor, and over-the-top villainy that keeps you hooked. So, should you give it a go? Absolutely. I've seen this one more times than I'd probably admit. It's got that crazy rewatchable vibe. Shocker is a trip, and this 4K release makes it more of a jolt than ever. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy.
So let's talk about Carrie in 4K, the movie that makes you think twice about messing with the quiet girl at prom. So what's the story here anyway? Well, a shy, bullied teenager discovers that she has telekinetic powers. And let's just say things get a little heated. So the 4K here looks astonishing, with every prom night disaster looking eerily lifelike. The detail really enhances the mood, bringing the creepy atmosphere and iconic scenes to life in a way that's both beautiful and terrifying. The story follows Carrie White, an outcast who endures constant torment from her classmates and overbearing mother. But once her powers kick in, it's revenge on an epic scale. The characters are fantastically unhinged, with Sissy Spacek and Piper Laurie delivering performances that still send chills down your spine. In conclusion, I highly recommend Carrie in 4K. If you're a fan of horror classics or just love a good supernatural revenge story, this is one to add to your collection. Just don't forget, it's always the quiet ones. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy. So let's talk about the Event Horizon 4K Steelbook, the movie that makes you question whether space really is the final frontier, or maybe it's just hell with better lighting. In this one, a crew rescue heads out to investigate a ship that's been missing for 7 years, only to find it's brought something back that no one wants to meet in person. Kind of think of it as like Alien meets Hellraiser with a splash of pure cosmic nightmare fuel. Now, I don't know about you, but the combination of the slipcover and the steelbook here look fantastic. Now, onto the 4K overall, looks solid. The transfer does justice to those films' dark, moody atmosphere with sharp details in the ship's corridors and deep, haunting blacks that make the horror hit harder. The color grading feels balanced, cold, metallic, and perfectly unsettling. It's the kind of presentation that makes the film's eerie visuals even more immersive. Story-wise, though, this is where the movie earns its cult status. Lawrence Fishburne and Sam Neill lead a crew that slowly unravels as the ship reveals its horrific secrets. The tension builds perfectly. Claustrophobic, psychological, and a little bit insane. You can feel the dread crawling through every corridor, and it's still just as effective today as it was in the late 90s. Now, I've always found Event Horizon to be one of the more underrated sci-fi horror flicks out there. The ending still gives me chills. That final descent into madness just works. If you're into atmospheric horror that messes with your mind as much as your nerves, this 4K Steelbook deserves a spot on your shelf. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy.
So let's talk about Species in 4K, the movie that'll make you question if inviting extraterrestrial hybrids to Earth was ever a good idea. So, what's the plot here? Well, a seductive alien-human hybrid is on the loose, and let's just say she's not looking for a casual dinner date, she's more into world domination. Classic, right? Now the 4K here looks pretty good. The sharpness and detail really make the alien effects pop, and even the darker scenes are crystal clear, so you won't miss any of the chaos this movie delivers. Story-wise, it's got a little bit of everything. Thrills, sci-fi, and some cringe-worthy moments, but in that I can't look away kind of way. Natasha Henstridge is both terrifying and intriguing, and the whole sexy alien on the run concept is as wild as it sounds. Now, maybe it's nostalgia talking, but I actually enjoy this one way more than the critics did. If you're into sci-fi horrors that don't take themselves too seriously, this one's worth the revisit. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy. Sudden Death in 4K is like a wild roller coaster ride where every twist and turn has you on the edge of your seat. So imagine a disgruntled hockey player saving the day while fighting off terrorists in a stadium. Talk about a niche skill set. This film is a perfect blend of action and absurdity that leaves you cheering for the hero while questioning your life choices. So the 4K here looks great, making every explosion and punch pop right off the screen. It's like the filmmakers wanted you to feel adrenaline-fueled moment, and they succeeded spectacularly. Now, this movie feels like a mashup of Die Hard and Cliffhanger, with our hero taking on a group of bad guys while the clock ticks down. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the over-the-top action sequences will have you laughing and gasping in equal measure. The characters are as outrageous as the plot, but that's all part of the charm. In conclusion, I love everything about Sudden Death. Highly recommended due to its sheer entertainment value. If you're in the mood for an action-packed romp, this one is definitely for you. Grab your popcorn, kick back, and enjoy the chaos. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy. So let's talk about Village of the Damned in 4K. John Carpenter's eerie stroll through a town where kids are creepy, like really creepy. Picture an unsettling mix of Stepford Wives with a dollop of alien menace, and you've got yourself a movie that's equal parts chilling and bizarre. Carpenter does what he does best, keeping you glued even when things get uncomfortably weird. As for the 4K, it looks fantastic. The picture quality upgrade breathes new life into those spooky little stares and those eerie glowing eyes, making the unsettling atmosphere even more vivid. It's an absolute treat for fans of Carpenter's atmospheric style. Now, this remake sticks to a slow burn build, unraveling the story of a small town gripped by a mysterious phenomenon that leads to a very unsettling generation of kids. While it doesn't reinvent the wheel, it captures Carpenter's knack for turning small town America into a nightmare. And what did I think? Sure, remakes get their share of side-eye, but this one, I think it's worth it, especially if, like me, you haven't seen it since the DVD days. Upgrading to 4K feels like rediscovering the film all over again, and definitely this journey is worth taking. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy.
Diving into Donnie Darko in 4K, where high school angst meets cosmic conundrums. Picture this: a troubled teen, a giant rabbit, and a countdown to doomsday. Sounds like your typical Friday night, right? Not quite. This is Donnie Darko, a film that blends the ordinary with the extraordinary in the most mind-bending way possible. Now on to the 4K experience. Some folks say that it's too dark, but come on, it's Donnie Darko, not Donnie Rainbow. The 4K rendition enhances this film's moody atmosphere, making its dark scenes not just visually stunning, but thematically fitting, in my opinion, of course. The story itself is a spiral staircase of intrigue, leading us to Donnie's bizarre encounters and time-bending adventures. Each character adds a layer to this enigmatic narrative, from the mysterious Frank the Rabbit to the perplexed yet endearing Donnie himself. It's a movie that asks more questions than it answers, leaving you to piece together the puzzle. In conclusion, Donnie Darko in 4K is a great, dark, and twisted trip through a rabbit hole of cinematic brilliance. My rating, a solid 8 out of 10. It's the kind of film that stays with you, lurking in the shadows of your mind, long after the credits roll. If you're up for a challenge that's both visual and cerebral, this is your ticket. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy.
So let's talk about the score in 4K, the heist movie where Robert De Niro, Edward Norton, and Marlon Brando team up for one last job. And surprise, surprise, nothing goes according to plan. Now, if you're into masterful acting, tension that builds like a ticking clock, and the kind of movie that makes you root for the quote-unquote bad guys, this one's definitely for you. Now, let's get into the 4K, and a big wow here. The visuals are crisp, especially in those dimly lit scenes where every shadow hides a new twist. The heist looks better than ever, and the city streets practically glow in ultra high definition detail. As for the story, it's a classic cat and mouse game, with De Niro playing the seasoned pro and Norton the unpredictable wild card. Their chemistry is electric, and watching them strategize against each other is pure cinematic gold. I love this movie before the 4K release, and I love it even more now. Highly recommended if you're in the mood for a smart, slick heist flick that delivers on both the brains and the thrills. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy. So let's talk about Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind in 4K, the movie that makes you question every awkward memory you've ever had and whether it's worth keeping. So Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet aren't in this one for laughs, they're in it to erase each other from existence. Pretty romantic, right? Now, about the 4K, it looks good. Clean, crisp, but with just enough grit to make you feel like you're flipping through someone's mental scrapbook. As for the performances, Carrey is surprisingly heartbreaking, and Winslet, with her ever-changing hair colors, pulls you right into the chaos of their love and loss. Every side character adds layers to this twisted, brain-bending love story. In the end, if you're into films that make you reflect on life, love, and the quirks of memory, this one's a must-watch. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy.
So let's talk about the Chronicles of Riddick in 4K. The movie where Vin Diesel proves that sunglasses and a voice that rumbles like distant thunder can, in fact, conquer an entire galaxy. Picking up after Pitch Black, Riddick goes from surviving monsters in the dark to taking on an interplanetary army led by a guy who looks like he read too much space philosophy. It's weird, it's wild, and somehow all of it works. Now, speaking of works, this 4K transfer is astonishing. The image is crisp, with deep blacks and vivid highlights that make those shadowy sci-fi sets and gleaming army pop like never before. You can practically feel the heat from those alien worlds and see every detail in Riddick's trademark glare. The story itself feels like Conan the Barbarian got lost in space. Part myth, part mayhem, and unapologetically over the top. The world building is ambitious, and while it takes itself a bit too seriously at times, there's something undeniably fun about its grand, gritty style. Now, I saw this in theaters and really liked it, but now, with this phenomenal 4K transfer, I like it even more. It's the kind of upgrade that reminds you why these larger than life space adventures are such a blast to revisit. If you're a fan of big, bold action with attitude, this one's worth spinning again in 4K glory. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy.